Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in to another episode. This is how to journal through the shame. So shame shows up as a part of us that is trying to protect us. When we feel a level of shame, that helps us to ruminate in that space so that we don't repeat it again. And that part is so intentional and it wants to keep us safe. But the reality is that shame is not going to get us to a place of healing. Beating yourself up for the places that you've been, the mistakes that you've made, and the people that you've allowed in your life will not help you to a place of healing. In fact, it may just be the thing that is keeping you stuck where you are. And you know that I'm a proponent of journaling, but the reason that journaling and shame go hand in hand in this healing journey is that shame thrives in secrecy. It's like the mold that grows behind the walls or in the corners in a moist space. It grows there because it's not seeing the light and it's able to continue the growth of that bacteria or whatever's creating it because it's behind closed spaces. The light isn't shining in it. And shame operates the same way. It's this overgrowth of all of the mistakes that you've ever made and all of the times where you've ever missed the mark that keeps you stagnant and stuck. And it thrives in a place of secrecy. And something that journaling does is helps not only you to shine a light on it, but for you to be able to, I've said it once on paper, I think I can share this with someone else so it's not in this place of secrecy with me trying to fix it myself. You know, when I was in therapy, one of the best practices that my therapist had me do was to write down this feeling of not being enough and like, where did it come from? Write the history of that thing. So it was like this biography of the not enough message. And it was so good because when I wrote it down, it felt so good to get it out on paper. But when we went to that next therapy appointment, she was talking about it and I could tell that she was like, okay, well, what did you write? I'm going to help you through it, you know, these type of things. But also there was a part of her that didn't want to be too invasive in that moment. And so I said, would you just want me to read it to you? And because I didn't have to formulate the words because I had already written it down on paper and some light was shed through the writing in the journal, I was able to read it to her. And when she was finished, she said two things. Wow, you have a gift for words and writing, which was a little bit affirming at that point in time because I just didn't believe that about myself. And then the second thing she said was, doesn't that feel healing? And it was so true because holding it inside of me, all of the parts that are trying to protect me are giving me a different message. So joy is making me feel guilty for even having the shame in the first place. And anger is welling up this anger inside of me and saying, you should go off, pop off at these people, you know. And then, you know, you have all of these pieces of you. Anxiety is saying you're going to perpetuate this for the rest of your life. All of these parts of you that are creating a narrative inside of your brain to keep you safe. But they're telling you lies because their only goal is safety and their only goal is not repeating the past. But when you tell yourself the truth, when you write it down on paper, when you shed some light on it, the shame can't grow there anymore. Much like when mold is growing in your walls and you tear that drywall out and you bring some light to it, you're going to have to get rid of the drywall because it's porous and it's seeped in there. But once you get rid of the thing that's growing inside of there, you can rebuild your house and not have to worry about the mold anymore unless it's taken over everything and it's a demolition project, but that's beside the point. What I'm trying to say is that shame doesn't have to grow there once you expose it to the light. So how do you journal through the shame? Well, the first thing you have to do is get out some paper in your journal and write down the shame message. And excuse this train that's about to pass. I have my windows open because the AC is on the fritz right now. So if that's loud, I'm really sorry. But I always know when the train comes, the message is going to hit because it comes at the right time to try to cover over the audio of the message. But write down that shame message. What is it? I'm not enough. I'm a failure. I'm unlovable. Whatever it is. I can't make good choices. I'm inconsistent. I'm a piece of shit. Whatever it is that message is telling you, write it down at the very top in blaring bold letters. Because in order to work through it, you have to first receive the message and no longer try to stifle the fact that you're feeling it or hearing it, and acknowledge that it exists. So put it at the top of the paper. Then the next question you're going to ask yourself and write down the answer to is, whose voice is this? If you wrote down I'm not enough, who told you that? If you wrote down I'm unlovable, who told you that? If you wrote down that you will never amount to anything, where did that message originate from? And when I wrote down the words I'm not enough, it originated from a space in my childhood, and it was perpetuated by the relationships that I lived in. And I wrote down their exact words. No one's going to want you if you have 3 kids by 3 different people. Who would marry someone like you? Why don't you go in a room and sit down somewhere? Those are all messaging that I heard from other people that made me feel like I wasn't enough to be in the space. I wasn't enough to have what I desired. And those messages didn't come from me, because the reality is I felt like I was enough without all of these external things that people say validate your existence. So where did the message come from? Ask yourself, write it down, write the exact quote. I know you remember it, because that is the thing that we will forever remember. The time where someone told us the thing that changed our inner knowing to something externally. And then respond to that thing with the compassion that you would give to someone else, so that you start to give it to yourself. Someone might have told you to go in that room and sit down somewhere and be quiet, but that was their own pain speaking. They didn't want to hear what you had to say because they were overstimulated by the pain that they were experiencing in their own life, and it had nothing to do with you and everything to do with their own ability to cope with having children in the house. He didn't want you to think that anybody would want you, because if you didn't think anybody wanted you, then you would stay in a relationship that was violent and hurtful and was sucking the very soul out of you. Those are the things you're going to tell yourself. Give yourself the compassion that you would give to somebody else. Pretend like your friend just came to you with this message of shame, with the narrative of where it came from, and what would you tell that person? But this time you're going to say it to yourself. So when I did this shame journaling, it spoke to the not enough message, and I wrote it down, and it said something to the gist of, I'm 43 and I'm not married. I have 3 kids and no one wants to wed me. And what that narrative actually spoke to was, in order to be valued, you have to be a wife. Which is a narrative that wasn't exactly spoken to me, but it was something that I saw when I was a kid. And so I told myself that that was true. And then also it spoke to the reason that you're not valued, the reason that people aren't affirming your existence, is because something is wrong with you and you did it all wrong. And so you just have to suck it up and deal with it. And when I journaled that down, it helped me separate the shame from the truth. So yes, all these shame stories exist, but the truth is, you stayed in those spaces because you weren't healed, and now you are. You stayed in those spaces because you thought that there was a future with those people, and you had children with those people on the promise of the future, and that promise was written in sand. And so I'm not giving accountability and escaping it from myself and handing it over to someone else. But I am saying this is true. Like, this shame story came from someone else. And the truth is this. So encourage yourself to speak the truth of the situation when you're writing in this journal and you're journaling through your shame. It is helpful. It starts the healing process. It helps you to be gentle with yourself. It helps you to really separate the shame story from the truth story. And it helps you to understand that you don't have to live in that darkness of shame. You don't have to live in that secrecy of shame. Because when you share it and you shed light on it, it stops perpetuating itself and it allows you to focus on where you can go from here, instead of perpetuating the same story over again, because your confirmation bias says, I need to continue this story because it's what I've always known about me. So I'm going to keep doing the things that have caused the shame in the past because that's what I know to be true about me. Instead, you're going to say, this is the truth about me. And the story that I live from this point forward is going to be a story that shows that truth. So this week, I encourage you to start a 5-minute daily shame journal for yourself. Write down the shame that you experienced today. Write down where that narrative came from, and write down the truths that you know are not the story of shame, but are the story of what actually exists. As always, knowledge gained and kept to yourself is selfish, but knowledge shared with the world could just be the catalyst that they need to break free from the bondage they're experiencing. So share this message, like and subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and follow me on all the socials so that you can share this message with other people and you can start your healing journey, but also help them to start theirs too. I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time.